There we go. Now it's working and we actually have audio. This is helpful. I entirely basically threw my microphone onto the floor about a minute and a half ago. So, not surprised that we had an initial issue. But we are here now. So we are talking about the Captive Prince for the last time and the Summer Palace for the last time. This is the last Captive Prince stream. But starting on Thursday is when we get to have the very first Urha stream, which should be a time considering the chat for Urha is a whole ass moment. The chat for Urha has as much personality as the Captive Prince stream chats, and it's truly delightful and hilarious. It's like, has as much personality, but there's so much theorizing, including me, since I've never read it before, that it's a time and a half. And I'm gonna need you guys to help me out here, because I was supposed to sit down before these streams and be like, Adventure of Charles, Summer Palace, and then also, you know, getting back into Urha, refamiliarizing myself and all of that. Did that happen? No, because as I was sitting down to do that, I realized that I had told everybody a couple of months ago that there would be a public Gaywatch Discord for mostly kind of book chats, but especially for the Urha people to theorize and chat, and they've been wanting a place to do that between streams. And I only had that partially made. So I was in a dead scramble to make it before these streams so that I could have that for the Urha people. But that exists now. The invite link for it will be in the Urha stream, in the description for the Urha stream. And I'm terribly fucking excited to have a place to scream about things with you guys. But as a result, have not looked at the Summer Palace again. Gonna be taking a lot of cues from you guys and my memory, which is gonna be mostly you guys. Yes, thank you for mentioning that, Love Bunnies. The reaction to the CS Paka interview and her breakdown of Chapter 19 from Princess Gambit and all of that stuff is now live over on the Patreon. That went up yesterday, and there's like an hour and a half of content, and I talked for like 2 hours and 45 minutes. This is what happens. That's just how it goes when you get me and like a favorite thing of mine. So that is up currently, and I'm really happy you enjoyed it, Love Bunnies. Thank you. And Henry, my week has been rather well, actually, starting off. I got to start the Spy Realm yesterday. So I have now seen the first 3 episodes of Spy Realm, and I'll be watching 3 episodes a week until it's done. And those reactions go up this weekend. Well, we can't even talk about that right now. Jeez. So here's the thing about CS Picot, all right? So the whole trilogy goes into some dark shit. And she renders that with such emotion and is able to invoke feelings of fury about the Regent that cannot be overstated. And then she essentially ends the whole thing, the last kind of gasp of Captive Prince world is full of hijinx. But then it's not even just hijinx and layman and 2 Charleses and everything. It still ties back into the greater changes that Damon and Laurent are working towards. So we don't just get Layman and Charles and all that fun, and Charles doesn't know, and blah, 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 and all this stuff. Not only do we get all that, but she still wove in twists and turns and revelations, and she put a point to it. There's a point to the hijinks, ultimately. narratively. There's a point. And she didn't have to do that. It's so funny how throughout the whole thing, I'm like, she doesn't have to go to this level of effort that's so far beyond what I tend to find. But she does. So like, yes, hijinx, but also what a great plan to continue to crack down on slaves, slave trades, trafficking, smuggling, all of that. I can't with her. And then Charles having to witness all the gay. Charles really pulling a McCoy in this. This poor man out here thinking that the prince just, has a little side love, which is totally, acceptable and very much a thing in this, universe with a monarchy. Entirely, he's like, aw, that's just so beautiful. She can't stay away from the dramatic irony, actually. She must have dramatic irony, at least in Captive Prince, because I haven't read Dark Rise yet. I am going to try to read Dark Rise on stream later, but I have not read Dark Rise yet. I started it, but I have not gone past a certain point, like towards the beginning. I basically haven't read it. And I wonder if she's as dramatic irony prone as she was for Captive Prince, because she couldn't even stay away from it, even in a short story to round it all off. Henry, yes. Henry said, she said now it's time for comedic dramatic irony after all the suffering in the main story. Yes, exactly. It's so earned. It feels so earned, as it does with all of the stories that involve really, really tough stuff. When they bring in, like, lighthearted versions of the genius that they put you through that was darker, it feels so earned and so deserved. That really feels like a gift, like the whole series is a gift, obviously. But that in particular really feels like hey, you earned this. But she's still going to do it narrative justice by having it tie into everything. She's ridiculous. Love bunnies. Layman, why are you dressed like the king? Being the last line. Honestly, you can feel whenever she's having too much fun. And that's one of my favorite feelings in the world, when I can feel how much fun the author had doing something. It's like the first time Layman dropped, right? You could feel the spirit of C.S. Picot in the room, giggling. Oh, the last moment reminded me of... Oh, and then we actually get to see, bits of the wedding. We get to refer to them as kings. Like, I was not prepared for that either. So in addition to narrative relevance, she's also like, but let us not forget that you love these characters and you have earned this beautiful moment around these characters to go to pieces over. Never forget how down bad you are for these fools. It really felt like a flex. She was like, I did this, and now you guys are sobbing over a king being referred to as a king. She's sick and twisted. Oh shit, I hadn't caught that, Henry. Henry said, Laurent in gold and ivory wedding suit after all the times Damon likened him to ivory and gold. Do you know how relieved I was when C.S. Picot talked about being an intense outliner and planner and being very methodical about that? Do you know how relieved I was? Because it already blows my mind that another one of my favorite authors, Gillian Flynn, she's a discovery writer. She does that shit by the seat of her pants. All right? I already can't handle that. If I had found out that C.S. Picot just kind of winged it in early drafts and then had to go and really rework to do all of this, as a writer, I would not have been okay. I was very, very comforted. As someone who very much skews planner myself, I was very comforted to find out about that in the extras. I've heard, oh no, M saying that she wrote Dark Rise for the Laurent Kinneys. That's concerning, M. Don't pitch Dark Rise to me like that. That's worrying. Ooh, yeah, see, I'm a discovery writer. I cannot fathom planning. Like, that's the thing. I can't fathom not planning. I literally, if I sit down and I don't know specifically at least like the major beats even of a scene, it's a blank screen up here. I don't know. I need to be writing towards something. And then I get the enjoyment and the newness out of the story when drafting, because I don't know it on a line level yet. I don't know it from sentence to sentence. And there's a lot to be discovered on a sentence to sentence basis. But I cannot. I simply can't. I just, it's literally a blank screen. I don't know how to put one sentence in front of another unless I have a roadmap that I treat as flexible. The roadmap can change. That's fine. I'm not locked in. I'm not rigid in that way about it. Love bunnies. One question from the interviews and extras and stuff. Picard never tells us when she thinks Laurent fell in love, but what about you? When do you think that happened? I think, I off the top of my head, I think Laurent realized that he wanted to get railed by this man in the first spear moment, when they're by the stream and somebody comes upon them and Damon has to just hurl his sword. Actually, it's not even a spear. He just has to like hurl it and he nails the guy. And Laurent is just kind of gay blue screening. I think that's the moment where he really had to admit to himself that he wanted to get railed by this man 10 times from Sunday. But when he fell in love, though, like, I don't know. Because even when it's slowly happening, there's usually some kind of turning point. There's an O moment. It's a fanfic trope for a reason. There's usually an O moment, even if it's not from 0 to 60, right? There's usually some type of turning point. And I just don't know, because it happens so slowly and gradually. It definitely wasn't until Princess Gambit. It wasn't until book 2, obviously. But I would have to like go back and comb through. Ooh. Oh, M said, I think A, the ripping window out of the inn wall was sexual, and B, the spear was emotional. The window happened first, didn't it? So you would be correct. I think then that would be the very first, like, sexual awakening. I stand corrected. You are absolutely right. No, you're very, very, very right about that. And then Love Bunny said, for me, it was when Damon hit the dude who touched him when they were prisoners, because I think he saw him as his protector then. That's a really good candidate. That's a that's a good one. That's a very good one. I'm furious she didn't tell us. I think as long as you preface things with the whole authorial intent and reader interpretation are just as valid and don't need to mingle and blah, blah, blah. And I don't want to, color anyone's experience of blah, blah, blah. So I think as long as you give that disclaimer, you can then go on to say whatever you want. Because then it's like, I've let you know that I'm about to say a thing. And if you are of the reader who doesn't want to know that because it'll affect you, then you don't have to listen to it. You don't have to find out about it. But I'm going to say it because there are plenty of other people who would love to know it. Like me. I'm bitches. I want to know. I'm clawing my face off. I can't believe she didn't tell us. Ugh. Oh, that's true. Henry said, I love that she didn't tell us. I would do the same thing. I would have so much fun doing the same if I were her. That's also true. I do also have to respect an author having fun withholding something just to watch people chew glass and go insane. That is, I don't know if I would do it for something as big as that, but under the right circumstances, I can very much see me being like, no, I'm not gonna tell you. But only because I'm deliberately fucking with people and not because of the I don't want to color people's experience thing. No, you can't blame anyone for that. The window was hot. It's as much as there is just a bow on the gift that is the competency kink in this series. Strength kink right beside it. She really played into both, and that's one of the reasons why this trilogy knocks me over in particular. Because she gives us the window. She gives us the sword throwing. She gives us the, Yeah. Henry, pretty sure Capri gave me a strength kink, I would not be surprised. Actually, I'd be really curious to see if anyone came out the other side of Captive Prince with a strength kink or with a competency kink as a result of the utter unabashed displays of both. And see, she gives me both. And I am a both bitch. I'm a both whore. I want both. I want everything. I want the competency kink. I want the strength kink. I want the romance sexy times. I want the plotting and world building and, genuine tension and all of that shit. I want both. And she gives me both. And for that, I will be eternally grateful. And also in awe, because doing both is difficult. Linez, true bisexual behavior. It's true. Holy shit, did you hear that? I just got a crack of lightning. I didn't even notice that it was rainy outside. I got an actual flash. Did you see that? Yeah, did you see that? Whoa. We get a lot of afternoon thunderstorms in North Carolina, specifically in Charlotte, where I'm at. We get a lot of these. They're not usually that loud, however. Wow. Damn, what even was I talking about? True bisexual behavior. It's true. It's true. I regularly exercise the bisexual prerogative of never having to make a decision and to wanting both. It's true. It's very true. I say that on the regular. The wife calls me out on it all the time. The lightning even blipped the stream. Also not surprised. Lord. It's not even raining yet. Although, hopefully it'll be raining by the time I'm reading. because a good like rainy reading stream would be nice. Not necessarily for y'all because you can't see it and you probably wouldn't hear it, but it'd be great for me. And the new place that I have my setup, I can see there are 3 windows in my room, and I can now see like all 3 of my windows instead of just having one beside me. So it's great for me. Ooh, how was your Captive Prince experience rereading it this time? Fucking glorious. Made even better, obviously, by the incredible chat that we had the entire time. But also just getting to experience a story that I love that much that I hadn't read in a good few years. So I had forgotten a lot of it, and then it all gets to hit you again. I only get that very specific like level of that feeling. It was like rewatching the original series of Star Trek after a few years. It's that same thing. It feels like it's just, I don't want to, it does kind of feel very comforting in a sense, but it's also just like the hit of the good stuff. It's getting whacked all over again, but with the comfort of knowing that you've experienced it more than once. And so you get to, it's that familiar hit. There's some weird interweaving thing of comfort, but then getting to kind of re-experience some of the magic all over again, especially for me because I forget everything. That it just, it makes it so special when it's been a second. And it had been a second. And I really, obviously when I rewatch things that I love, I get, that just jolt of loving it. But there's something particularly intense about rereading Captive Prince and like rewatching the original series. And I would say like that'll probably also happen the next time I rewatch The Untamed. And I'd be hard pressed to choose other ones, even from my most beloved series. Because like when I rewatch Doctor Who, it's mostly like comfort. Doctor Who is a big comfort show for me. And there are other things that I love so much and I revisit that still don't quite do what Captive Prince and the original series does to my brain. And almost certainly The Untamed. It's been a second since I've watched The Untamed. It's a little criminal. I also haven't watched the original series since I rewatched it for the channel 5 years ago. And that cannot stand. I really need to redo the original series, actually. Oh, love bunnies. Thank you for introducing us to Captive Prince. I wouldn't have read this masterpiece on my own ever, but love that I got to experience it. That was the point. That was the whole ass point. Like, point number 1 was to get new people into Captive Prince. And it felt so right to do in the middle of Urha, for obvious reasons if you're familiar with both. And it was just the right time. And 5 years of Gaywatch and all of that stuff, it was the perfect time. And that is, there are several huge reasons as to why I did Captive Prince. But that is literally number 1, which is somewhat silly because it's so well known. But when you love something that much, even hearing that one more person knows what I'm talking about, it's very validating. I'm so sorry. I've forgotten how to pronounce your name. Can I nickname you Effie until you correct me once again? Effie says, I started these streams being a new reader and switched to being a rereader real quick, which is a testament not to just how good the books are, but also getting to enjoy it through Gaywatch and the chat. There were a few people who said that they were a new reader, but they just couldn't wait. And so then they binged the rest of it and they became a rereader in like the middle of the streams. That's hilarious. That and intensely relatable because I have such vivid memories of the first time I read Captive Prince, and I just mainlined it in a 72-hour period. I did nothing but eat, read Captive Prince, and sleep for that 72 hours. I could do nothing else. So understandable. Understandable. Oh, see? Yeah, Love Bunnies. Love Bunnies also did that. Was a new reader, became a rereader. Uh Leonaz said, I hope that will be me with Urha. I have a lot to read through to catch up with you guys though. You have some time. There are 11 volumes. Volume 10 comes out in December, and I won't be able to start that, or November, December, and I won't be able to start that, I don't think, until next year, because I'm gonna wait for the last volume to drop so 10 and 11 can be kind of grouped together. So you got some time. You got some time. No worries. Also, totally worth it. I've never read the whole series before, just the first 5 volumes, but I'm telling you, just going off the first 5 volumes, worth it. Totally worth it. Oh, Love Bunnies. Am I doing 6, 7, and 8 of Urha all at once? From the way that I need to stagger it out, that makes the most sense. I do actually have to do 6 and 7, and then another little break, and then 8 and 9. That's just the way it breaks up. But I remember people telling me that 6, 7, 8 is kind of the next run, so to speak. And I will have to break it up there. But that is the best way. If you're looking at the scheduling nightmare, that is my life. That is the best way that it shakes out. But I will be able to get to 8 and 9 by the end of the year. That is in the schedule. So Love Bunnies mentioned up there that they rewatch The Untamed like every month. God, I wish I could do that. I so wish I could rewatch like so many different series that I've loved so much more often. But when it's subtitles, you have to sit down and be able to like, pay attention and read. It's not something I can have on while I'm doing other things. And that makes it incredibly difficult to rewatch things. So many things that I have loved so much, I have not rewatched. And it's a little heartbreaking, honestly. Aw, Henry. I'm very picky, so I was not expecting Captive Prince to resonate with me so much, but it's resonated so much, which is very rare for me. Genuinely, thank you for getting me into this series. I love you, Henry. MVP Henry, by the way. God of Manifestation Henry. I love you so much. Thank you so much. I'm so glad you loved it so much. Captive Prince is indeed, like, it's a rarity for me too. It's the upper echelon. It's cream of the crop type stuff. Something like Captive Prince doesn't come around for me very, very much either. Even after I've basically been a fangirl my entire life, but actually becoming like a fangirl started when I was 15. And then I think it was by 22 was when queer fandom started for me. Even after all that time, there's still the place that Captive Prince gets to is still excessively rare. Love Bunnies. I don't rewatch all of it. Fair. All of The Untamed. Also, I'm crazy about The Untamed. I literally watched a Thai reaction of it with Thai subtitles and Chinese audio, and I understand neither language. I'm crazy. No, intensely valid. Intensely valid. There's a song from a German musical that is incredibly a homoerotic, and it's also a banger of a fucking song that somebody told me about on Tumblr like a couple few years ago. It's from the Elizabeth musical from Germany. It's called, oh shit, German. You know, I can only think of the actual lyric and the chorus. I can't even think of the title. It's not hard to find, though. It's like a huge... Elizabeth is like Germany's biggest musical, practically. But it's very homoerotic. I have watched so many different performances without... And I watched it without lyrics for the longest time because it didn't fucking matter. It simply didn't. I watched so many different versions before I was finally like, I should probably, you know, look up the lyrics. And I wound up watching the entire musical just for that, just to have the full context of that number. Yeah, I've watched it performed in Japanese because Japan likes to do the Elizabeth musical a lot as well. I'm with you on that one. I'm totally with you. Oh, Kitten Vibe says, never would have thought German musicals would pop up in this chat. As a German, that makes me giggle. Have you... This may be like asking an American musical fan if they've heard of Phantom of the Opera, but as a German, have you heard of... You know what I'm talking about? The Elizabeth musical? It's so funny how I really can't summon the fucking name of it. Oh, we're coming up on time for me to go. Because I've got to hop on over to start Urha. Very, very excited and terrified. Because it's a perfectly cheery cover for the most part. And I don't think that's true. I just don't think that's true. Henry says they just got their Chinese language certificate because of Dan May. Valid. That's intensely valid. It's like the people who learn Japanese because they love anime so much and they just want to be able to watch it. That's valid. Any reason to learn a language, intensely valid. And loving danme or loving anime so much that you learn the language, it should be respected, in my opinion. Henry, the autism strikes again. Ha! Okay, now it's really time for me to go. Geez, you'll have to be less interesting. So I'm going to hop on over to start reading volume 6 of Urha. And I just got a wave of nausea because I realized that that's actually what I'm doing in about 5 minutes. So I'm going to hop on over there. And we're going to do the stream over there. Hopefully I don't drop my mic. Hopefully, you know, the power stays on and I don't get struck by lightning. So tune in to see if I'm fried by either Urha or lightning. I'll see you over there in just a few minutes, okay? Thank you so much for chatting about Captive Prince with me. This was too much fucking fun, and I will not be able to overstate how you enriched the entire experience for me. And I've already said it more than once. I'm a broken record at this point. I don't care. It was in-fucking-credible. Thank you so much. And hopefully I see you for Urha. Again, trigger warnings. But hopefully I see you for Urha. Because that's... You'll find out. I'll see you over there in a minute, alrighty?